Alright, here we go. Naruto, Hidan, and Kakazu arc. But, never mind, I'm not gonna do it. Alright, so kind of, the arc starts out where there's two guys and they're part of the Akatsuki. We're presupposed that before this, Naruto has just kind of killed this filler arc villain and he immediately recovers in the episode. And that's where we kind of start. And then we get this flashback or flash forward or just kind of like when you look into a crystal ball and you just see what the enemy is doing, that's what we're kind of getting at here. So we see two members of the Akatsuki, which is this like evil ninja syndicate almost. They want to destroy the Leaf Village, Naruto's home. Naruto is the main character. And so Naruto is like, boy, howdy, I gotta train. Not because of this. Naruto wants to train because last time he met with his friend slash enemies. He's trying to rescue his friend from an evil guy who's like almost controlling him. That guy's name is Orochimaru. So we want Naruto to be saved from Orochimaru and back. So Naruto's like, all right, I gotta train. But while he starts this, we see like that crystal ball I was talking about, two members of the Akatsuki crime syndicate, which is very powerful. We learn, or kind of we knew the whole time, because earlier in the show we see kind of a basic display of their power, completely wipe Naruto and the gang, just obliterate. So these two members of the Akatsuki are hunting these things called Jinchuriki. Jinchuriki are basically these like animal spirits that are very, very powerful. But they're hunting them because they want bounties to get money to fund. We'll learn what the money is for later. But what we know is that these two people want to get money. Hiron and Kakazu. Kakazu is this like everything, I love money so much, everything is run by money. He even has like green eyes, which I think is a kind of a tell, you know. He loves money, he wants it. Hiron is like this he's religious, but not in the way you would think. He's like very devoted to this satanic sort of god that just believes everything should be rampaged and all that. So they go around and we see a couple shots of them like killing people and trying to take their, you know, taking their Jinchuriki and stuff. So this eventually leads off with them killing enough people that they go to this one place and they're like, all right, let's collect some bounties, let's get some money. That's how they're making money. They're collecting bounties like on wanted posters. Because they're just so powerful, they can do it. It's not super hard for them because they're so powerful. So Hiron and Kakazu go out and resultingly they go to this dojo full of a bunch of monks, and one of these monks was a part of something called the Guardian Ninja 12, which protect this large powerful leader, very like revered, very well-meaning, like honorable position, super high rank. So this guy is like, all right, I can defend off these guys. And so kind of what we see is Kakazu and Hiron go to this dojo. They open it up. They're like, all right, we want your leader. And we don't see anything else of them. Kind of that flashback or crystal ball sort of thing goes away. And we get back to Naruto. Naruto needs to get stronger. He needs to get stronger because he met with Sasuke, friend slash enemy, and he gets wiped. Sasuke is so far ahead of him, At one point, they were equals. They were like kind of sort of similar on the same power level. It's not the case anymore. Sasuke has totally and completely destroyed Naruto. In combat, it's not even close. Naruto needs to catch up to Sasuke. So, Naruto is kind of sensei, his coach, if you will, in the ninja arts. His name is Kakashi. And Kakashi, he wants Naruto to, like, he knows a way for Naruto to get stronger. So he says Naruto. Naruto has this ability, he goes like that. And he can duplicate himself. He says, Naruto, do you want to get stronger? Naruto's like, yeah, I want to get stronger. Duh. And so he says, I have the method. So just make a bunch of you. And then when you make a bunch of you and you duplicate, you'll remember everything you practice with all those different versions. So theoretically, you would try 200 different things in the time it took somebody to try one thing, because you have so many different clones. And so Naruto's like, whoa. Naruto, by the way, is the only one that can do this in the entire universe, because he has a Jinchuriki inside of him that was like sealed away, called the Nine-Tailed Spirit, which is basically this super powerful, probably to the viewer knowledge, that is the most powerful one in the verse. That Nine Tails is just super strong. It's not gonna die. It is the ultimate thing. So Naruto, where's it going with that? So Naruto's kind of chakra level is very high to begin with as a child. Partly because of the Jinchuriki, partly because of his training. But he starts out, and he's the only one who can do it because he has chakra. Chakra is basically like mana if you're playing like a wizarding video game, it's like mana, like magic power to do the cool ninja moves. So Naruto has lots of chakra, and so he can make a ton of duplicates of himself. Nobody else can do this and hold it up while doing training. So Naruto's special in that way. So Naruto also has this ability to he takes his chakra and forms it into a little ball that spins really fast. His chakra spins around really fast, and he can do stuff with it. So that's called a Rasengan. Basically, he has this super powerful thing that just wipes the floor with pretty much most people if it hits. But now, it's not powerful enough anymore. It was powerful, it could do all those things. It's not. So, Kakashi's like, well, we can't use a Rasengan anymore. We need to make something that's powerful enough for you, Naruto. So, Naruto gets to work. The first task is to, like, tear the leaf and make sure that, like, control the leaf in your hand and split it just using chakra. And so Naruto does that. He learns how to split the leaf with just chakra after a couple days of training. Then the next task, which is harder, is to split a waterfall, which basically means that he has to use his hands on the waterfall and just get it to completely stop. And that one is hard. That one is very hard for him. He tries to do that. And he struggles. So he talks to this guy named Azuma. Back up a second. There's this thing called chakra nature, and this is important. Chakra nature is how the default like energy state your chakra operates in. Kind of like in Ninjago, like coal is J is electricity, coal is earth, that sort of thing. Naruto in this case is wind. And so Naruto has his wind chakra. He's like, alright, I can't figure out how to use this thing to the best of my ability. So Naruto, he then goes over to one other person in the village who actually knows what they're doing. and his name is Azuma. Azuma is kind of like Kakashi, but Kakashi had a different group than him. It's kind of like you're like secondary or elementary school teacher, you know. That Kakashi was Naruto's elementary school teacher for ninja arts, and Azuma was another group's ninja teacher, which is important. Azuma wants Naruto to, like, Azuma gives this thing. He's like, Naruto, if you want to split something, you gotta imagine your chakra grinding each other, like split the waterfall. Imagine your chakra grinding together and like sharpening an edge. And Naruto's like, huh, that's interesting. So Naruto goes back to training. Immediately after this, pretty much, Azuma and his group get called because the Akatsuki people are spotted. The Hiron and Kakazu get spotted by ninjas in the premises because they killed that one very important monk guy earlier. So, here we are. There's the monk guy. I know my phone has fallen over, but, you know, I can't really fix it right now. So, Hiron and Kakazu, there, right? They're doing their thing, and the ninja find him, and so they split up into this big group, and it's like an emergency. It's bad. They want everybody out there, except Naruto's group, because Naruto is training right now, and so they choose Azuma's group and a bunch of other groups to go out and to stop these guys. So Azuma's group is made up of one specifically very important character, and then two other characters, and Azuma himself. So Azuma is like the main group leader, and then his students are Shikamaru, Ino, and Choji. And Shikamaru's kind of not entire character, but the vast majority of his character is being very smart. That's why he's good. His abilities aren't that strong, but he's very good. His basic ability is to be able to, if he can get his shadow close to your shadow, he can make you move, like stop moving completely immobilize pretty much anyone. So Shikamaru, Azuma, and whatever, they're camping at the collection office for the bounty because they realize that those people have the monk's body and they're trying to cash out, right? They're trying to make some money. So they go to the bounty collection office and they wait outside secretly. And they have this whole plan. So Hiron and Kakazu go to the collection office, get their money, whatever. And then they come out of the collection office and they're ambushed by Team Azuma, you know. So Team Azuma goes out there and they try and strike him down. And so they have this whole attack where there's like swords going through Hiron, and honestly, they try and like isolate Hiron alone and kill him. But it inevitably fails because we learn that Hiron is actually immortal. He cannot be killed. So they stab the swords through him, through his vital areas. What the heck? He's not dead. That whole thing goes around. And they realize that they have sort of made a grave mistake here. Not really, but they're in some hot water because they did not anticipate this. And so Hiron is fighting Azuma for the vast majority of this fight. Actually, Ino and Choji aren't even here yet. They're on backup. It's Azuma, Shikamaru, the smart one, Azuma team leader, and then two randoms that don't really do anything. Two randoms, literally sit and do nothing. They're protecting Shikamaru, who is... Hiron has a kind of an ego issue, so Hiron is trying to kill Azuma this whole time, and he's like, to his partner Kakazu, he's like, no bro, I got this. This guy's an amateur. I got this, you know. I'm not gonna let this, you know, little leaf village ninja take me out. It's like, all right. So basically, Hiron, what we soon realize after Hiron and Azuma start fighting is that Hiron has this ritual. So he takes Azuma's blood, he cuts him a little bit. He takes his blood, he swallows it. When he swallows it, after that, he draws this circle on the floor with a little triangle in it, a circle and a triangle. And when he stands in it, we learn he basically becomes a voodoo doll. And since he is immortal, whoever's blood was there, that he ingested, he can just stab himself and it'll stab the other person, 100% accuracy. Like, basically, if you get stabbed by this guy, you are dead. You're not making out of that alive. You're dead. Anyway, excuse me. That's the main thing. So, Azuma is caught in this, and Azuma doesn't know what to do. Shikamaru, cleverly, since his ability allows the shadows to touch, he gets his shadow, and he doesn't realize, and Hiron doesn't realize it while he's in the circle. And Shikamaru steps him out of the circle. And Azuma's like, okay, bro, you're dead. Like, you're out of the circle, you're stuck. Your partner's not going to help you because you have too much an ego, and he kind of hates you. So Azuma gets up and chops his head off. Oh my gosh. So now he's immortal, but only his brain works, his body does not work at all. So he's just like a talking head, literally, on the floor. And, what's it called? Kakazu kind of just sits back for a while, and then Hiron is like, actually, can you save me, bro? Kakazu's like, alright, I don't want to lose my money. This is the only thing I care about. So I'm just going to get you up so that you can kill these guys and we can go home. Or get more money. Because Azuma also has a large bounty on his head, so they have a good motive to kill him. They want to kill Azuma to get that money. It's like, okay, let's get the money. Do our thing. Okay, so now they're there. Those are the motives. Then, Hiron's head is on the floor, but what we learn very quickly is that Kakazu is no ordinary ninja. He is super powerful. And he has this ability to kind of unravel his hands. Like, not unravel. There's like this gray thread that kind of... I'm picking up my phone. Okay, it's not gonna get picked up. You're just gonna stay on the floor, and I pray this is recording. So basically, Kakazu and the gang, and literally just Hiron, he heals him up with his like thread-like inner skin something. He's basically just a husk. Like, we learned that Kakazu is basically just a husk for this like gray sort of thready thing that comes out and shoots. It's almost like that hair that people use in fights. Like, have you ever seen a show where somebody uses their hair as a weapon and like shoots out and grabs, and it's like that, but it's just like a bunch of gray veins that work like that. So he uses his gray veins to sew up Hiron, and his head is back in place, and it's showtime again. So then Hiron is like, I'm not done, and so he gets Azuma in the circle again, kills him, gone. Then we got backup coming. So backup comes, and Azuma is saved. So, or no, Azuma dies. Whole sad, like 30 minutes of sadness. Then, next part, this is kind of the wrapping up. So, next part, they all go home very sad because Azuma died. Azuma's body, though, they take with them because supports arrive in time that they cannot handle the amount of support that is coming in. Like, even Kakaru and Hiron just realize it's not worth it. They're not going to do that. Like, they can find another body. They can't take all these ninja at once. It's not going to be worth it to risk that. So they go out, and they're like, all right, let's go. Let's keep doing this thing. And they keep searching. And they get a call from the Akatsuki right after. And the Akatsuki, the organization, the crime syndicate, whatever, basically call them and are like, Hiron never really knows the plan. He's a very new member to the organization. And Hiron basically says, like, yo, what are we doing here? Like, what are we getting all this money for? And so they explain that their plot is to control the world and steal everybody. And kind of like make this army of mercenaries. But to have a bunch of army mercenaries, they need a lot of money. So what do? They send out Kakuzu and Hiron to get money. And it's super easy for them because everybody's so, like, under-leveled, I guess. Alright, so then they go back. They do some stuff. And they're back on it. They're back on the trail. But Shikamaru and the gang is not satisfied. Azuma is dead. That was a hard loss for them. That was like their leader, their kindergarten teacher, whatever. That was their guy. So they're not happy. They're like, all right, we got to kill these guys. Make it, hit them where it hurts. And so they go back, and they are led by Kakashi this time. Because Kakashi is like, all right, you know what? Forget Naruto right now. I need to make sure these kids don't go out and kill themselves. So Kakashi, being very powerful and all these things, goes back out, and he kind of gets the job done. Or, not the job done, because Kakashi alone does not kill any of them. What happens is, Shikamaru and Kakashi, what you realize is that two fighters basically carry the entire time in this arc. There's never a time where more than two fighters are actually, like, carrying. It's just too complicated. So you have this one fight, and then so they get to the battlefield, and soon after, Kakashi sneaks up on what's his face, Kakuzu, and shoots him with this lightning blast in his back. And this lightning blast completely destroys one of Kakuzu's hearts. Kakuzu has 5 hearts, which basically means he has 5 lives. Like, he doesn't die very easily. He has to be killed 5 separate times to die. And the other guy is immortal. So, you know, it's not an easy fight for them. Oh, wait, I can pick my phone up now. Oh, great. It was still recording. Okay. I know it's upside down. So what I was saying, not an easy fight for the gang. They go back in, and they're ready. They're like, all right, I'm going to do this. Let's get prepared. Let's get set. And one thing that we learned, I'll say that. So, basically, it's not looking good. At the start of the fight, they're kind of overwhelmed. It's really hard for them. They're not really getting anywhere. They destroy one of his hearts, but they don't really get anywhere halfway through the fight. But Shikamaru is like, okay, you know what? I know what to do. Since we're not getting anywhere, I will just take Hiron and I'll run him away. He's kind of being a pest and overwhelming Kakashi because the other two are basically useless this whole time. So Shikamaru runs out. He shadow strangles him, or whatever. That's his ability called Shadow Strangle. He'll capture somebody they can't move, and they'll actually mimic the actions of Shikamaru. So Shikamaru does that to Hiron and the Immortal One. And he just sprints him out into the forest. And he's like, okay, you're just gonna he's ready. He sprinted him out to the forest. And Hiron is like, okay. And he's like, actually, that was a bad idea for you. Because you're gonna, I'm gonna kill you, basically. So Hiron, what we think is that Hiron kills him. He slashes his blood, he licks the thing, and then he stabs himself in the heart, basically indicating that Shikamaru got stabbed in the heart. The episode ends, and you're like, what happened? And then Shikamaru falls on the ground, and we think he's dead. Lo and behold, Shikamaru was acting. Shikamaru was never dead. But how? Shikamaru put blood that was not his on the thing, on the poker or whatever that Hiron licked off of, and he killed him. He killed him. He put Kakazu's blood on the thing, and so Hiron stabs himself in the heart, and he kills one of Kakazu's hearts. So Kakazu's like, what the heck? What just happened? And having a heart attack. And it was just Shikamaru having Hiron stab himself in the heart. Hiron's like, what have I done? How are you not dead? And then Shikamaru reveals that Hiron is actually really stupid. So, he wraps him up in this thing. After doing that, he wraps him in this fiber wire or something. And so Hiron is left defenseless. And then Shikamaru, since he's immortal, he has this pile prepared because he's smart or whatever. He had a pit prepared for him. So he just opens the pit up, put a bunch of paper bombs on him, throws him in the pit, explodes him. He just gets wiped. And so he's in 100 different pieces at the bottom of this pit. Hiron is, and Shikamaru just walks away. He's like, yep, we're done. At the same time, Kakashi is not looking good. Kakashi is near death. Hiron is completely overwhelming him. Like I said before, the other two fighters are completely useless and do nothing the whole time. And so then Naruto is called on as backup. Naruto actually this whole time had 24 hours to perfect a jutsu. This is the special ability that Kakashi was giving him. So Naruto has 24 hours to do this. And if not, then he has to follow in the mission. So he did get it, and Naruto goes to the mission with this new ability. So he shows up, Naruto pulls up, he brings out his new jutsu, and it's powerful. That's what we can see. It's the Rasengan, but it has this little spinny blade around it. Super powerful. And so he runs up, misses the first time. I think he lands 2 times after that. So Naruto blasts him away just completely. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, that's the most powerful thing I've ever seen. If Kakazu himself is like, if I get hit by that thing, it's over. Kakazu does get hit by that thing, gets nuked by Naruto, and the gang's day is saved. Then they go back, have a little sad funeral service, a little bit more for Azuma. And the rest of the season, don't really learn much. We do learn that the Akatsuki is not happy about those 2 people dying. They realize that the Leaf Village is a little stronger than what it seemed, and maybe they need to rethink their approach here to taking over. And for the rest of the season, nothing for that arc happens. There's like a major filler arc, but that's kind of it. That's where it ends. Those two people are the final bosses.